Labor Day has come and gone.
Yep.
We've got some stories to share with you. And believe it or not, they're not all bad. But before we get to that, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, and do us a favor and share the channel so that we can help it grow. Or rather, you can help it grow. And now, on to the tale. Normally this time of year, this would be our last day of the season.
It would be. Not this year, though.
Not this year. Not this year. And the reason for that is actually because the last 2 Labor Days
were a mess.
Reservations were a mess. And they were a mess because of a variety of reasons that are neither here nor there, but they were a mess.
Yeah.
So this year reservations got extended 1 more week.
1 week. We said we would stick around through reservations.
But because it's normally the time that we would be leaving, that means Labor Day is over.
Yep.
So how was Labor Day this year?
Honestly, it was like any other weekend.
It was literally like any other weekend.
And that was so refreshing.
We didn't have any reservation issues. We had some open sites if we had some people show up. For the most part, there was no issues. We had that one guy that we shut the generator down at 10 to 9 just because we were thinking about going in for the night, and I could hear his music.
Yep.
Now, that's actually not that uncommon here because on this site, over my left shoulder here is...
It kind of curves around.
The campground, the lake kind of curves off that way, and all the sites, lakeside sites, are up against that shore.
And they're facing us.
And they're facing us, so it's not uncommon for us to hear voices or music and stuff like that. What was different about this guy, though, was that
he wasn't on the lake.
He wasn't on the lake, and as I was listening, I could tell he wasn't on the lake. So I walked down, and I didn't even play it from the angle of being a campground host. I walked down to him, I hailed his site when I got there, and I said, "Hey, do you mind turning that down a little bit? I can hear it halfway across the campground." "Oh, yeah. And he goes and he turns it down, and then he looks at me and he goes, "It's only 8:50. Quiet hours don't start till 11. But because you asked nicely, I'll turn it down." And I said, "Well, thank you, but actually quiet hours start at 10. And really, the main reason I came in and asked you to turn it down is because we don't, the people that are out here generally don't come to listen to whatever it was he was listening to. I don't even remember at this point." And he said, "Well, not everybody comes out here to listen to the forest either." And that struck me as odd.
It did. It seemed like a really odd comment to make in this type of campground.
But other than that, I mean, he left his fire burning. Check out this picture.
Yeah.
Full-on active flames. I didn't see him drive out, so I'm pretty sure
I think he left right after you went to Moose, or shortly after. I think I saw him.
So, I mean, it was burning a good hour after he left. Interesting. So, really, that was the only issue we had all weekend.
And that could have been in any
that
weekend.
Literally could have been
wasn't
any weekend.
A Labor Day related issue, so
that literally could have been any weekend.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it was a quiet weekend.
It was nice. It was relaxing.
A lot of people out fishing on the lake.
Yep. Which was nice to see, even with the wind.
We did have bathrooms get blown up 4 times.
Yeah.
But again, that can happen on any weekend.
Any other weekend.
But I do still maintain that it was blown up because of the family that was up on the loop.
Yep. I think you're right.
Tale of the campground host time. After being in this campground for 3 full years now, there are names that when we see them on the reservation list, we can tell you what's going to happen during the week.
And
we can tell you.
Usually right.
This family, they've been here numerous times this year. They've been here numerous times for the last 3 years. They've left fires burning with garbage in the pit. Their kids leave wrappers all over the place.
The road.
And they're kind of what I would call feral kids because
Yeah.
there's no adult supervision. They're out here fishing for bullheads at midnight. And
Shining flashlights into campsites
and the parents are
loud.
sleeping. So, yeah. But again, on a scale of 1 to 10 with how this weekend went,
Compared to past Labor Days?
I can't complain.
No.
I mean, compared to past Labor Days, past 4th of July, Memorial Day, you pick your holiday, this entire year really hasn't been bad.
No, it's actually been pretty mellow.
It has been. And I'm thankful for that because
yeah.
after last year, I got to tell you, we considered not being
Yeah.
hosts anymore.
Yeah.
But it was a good weekend.
Yeah.
So really, I mean, I hate to disappoint you, but if you were looking for a ranting, raving, horror story filled video,
Not this year.
not this year. Sorry to disappoint.
We are so grateful.
We are very grateful for that. And it's just, it was a good weekend.
It was.
It really was.
It was.
Saw our first pontoon boat on the
Yes,
lake this week. In
yes.
fact, what made me think of that is they're leaving right now.
Yep.
But, you know, I'd rather see pontoon boats on this lake. They're a lot more appropriate.
Yeah.
But it's been a great week. It's been a great season.
It has.
So I guess
Yeah.
this week's story isn't too epic.
No, it's not.
But that's okay. Because,
Not all of them can be that way.
well, and I would be happy if none of them were that
Oh
way.
yeah,
I would
that is true.
I would rather we talk about the good things that happened at
Oh
camp.
yeah, definitely.
So let's think about it. What good things happened at camp
Let's
this week?
see.
Some good friends of ours
Yep.
who were on Site 20.
Yep.
They originally didn't realize that reservations were open that long, so they just reserved Friday and Saturday
Yep. Friday and Saturday.
and Sunday. No, Friday and Saturday.
and they found.
Because they were thinking, well, reservations are done on Sunday, we'll be able to just do a pay it go
Yep.
and stay here. But that wasn't the case. Somebody reserved behind them. But they were able to move to
Yep,
another
they found
lakeside
one.
site,
So that's good.
and they had a great time. So that's always, I love hearing that.
Yep. Had a lot of fun people out here this
A
year
lot of
too.
fun people out here. It's the weekend itself, though. I mean, it was quiet.
Yeah. Can't.
It was. I don't want to say a somber weekend because it wasn't,
No.
but it also was more of the type of weekend you would expect out of a weekend in a Forest Service campground.
Right.
I gotta tell you though, this morning's sunrise.
Oh, that was beautiful.
This morning, as we came out of the camper and we hooked the dogs up and I started the generator to make coffee, the fog over the lake, you couldn't see the bay on the far side of the lake.
No.
The wind was just enough that you could see it blowing the fog through layers of the trees. It
Yeah,
was
it was
so
so cool.
gorgeous. In fact, I've got a little slow motion clip of it here, so take a look.
Last night's rainbows were
Oh,
beautiful
the rainbows,
too. After
yes,
the rain
yes,
came
the
through.
rainbows
Maddie was
after
out
the
here
rain.
doing something, and she got all excited and
Beautiful
mentioned them.
double
Those
rainbow.
were gorgeous, nice and bright.
The wind died down last
Yeah,
night,
that
so we
was
were able to have a
nice.
nice fire. We did have a food catastrophe last
We
night.
did. So ashamed.
We bought, and we'll do a video on it at some point, and
Pellet-fired pizza oven.
we love the thing. But normally when we do pizza out here at camp, we buy a pre-made crust and put the pizza together, and we haven't really been in love with that. So we thought, let's try the Cheater homemade crust. So we bought the Pillsbury rolls.
Yep, the Pillsbury rolled crust.
And those, I gotta tell you, they're wet. They stick.
Yeah.
So I couldn't get it off the peel. So the first pizza, I literally just left the
Was
pizza
a
sitting
scrambled
on the peel.
mess.
I left the pizza sitting on the peel because we couldn't get it off.
And
so the whole underside was doughy because it wasn't in contact
Right.
with that hot stone. The top burnt because I was trying to get enough heat
Yep.
into it.
But normally, under normal circumstances with those crusts, you would actually pre-bake them a little bit before you assemble them. But with this pizza oven, the temperatures get so hot so quick, you're going to overcook the crust and end up burning it anyway.
So the first one was a scrambled mess. The second pizza, we had one of those crust mix bags. So we made a crust that way.
That one turned out fairly
And that one we made a point of adding extra mix until literally nothing stuck to it.
Right. So it was on the drier side.
And then we put a little bit of olive oil in just to help it be a little slippery. And then sprinkled just a little bit of the mix on the peel. And that slid right off the peel beautifully. So that one turned out really good. And we also made it a little bit smaller. And then the third pizza, we again tried that Pillsbury can crust.
Didn't put enough of the powder on the peel to begin with.
No,
so that one
we assembled it on the cutting board.
Yeah, that's right.
And we didn't put any on the cutting board. So beautiful looking pizza. We couldn't get the peel under it. We had to kind of pick the thing up, and it cracked.
Yeah, so that ended up being a little bit of a scrambled mess.
Yeah,
as well.
no, actually
Not
it was
as
okay
bad.
because we got enough of the stuff sprinkled on the peel that we were able to slide it off.
Right.
The problem was at that point the pizza oven had been running for so long that I couldn't keep it going because it was full of soot.
Yep.
So that one got baked with residue heat, and it took like a half an hour.
Yep.
And, I mean, it was good.
Yeah.
But you could tell it had been sitting there in pure smoke for a half an hour.
Yep.
So it didn't have that brick oven taste. It had more of a, like, I smoked it.
Yep.
Which I kind of did.
They weren't bad.
They weren't bad.
Enough of those tales. We'll go into a little more detail.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be a total story.
When we get into the oven.
Because we plan on making pizzas for you, because Tales of a Campground Host is going to have to include camp food.
Yeah.
Because I hate to tell you,
you can only go so long on Brotsburger's fries, yeah.
Brotsburger's chicken, pork chops, steak, fish.
Yeah.
So we do eat a lot of regular food out here, but sometimes it's how we make them.
Yep.
And another story that we'll probably tell you in the future is, what do we do during the day? What does our day actually look like?
Yep.
Because
we've actually had some questions about that this year.
We have, because we've had people knock on the door, and I'm playing a computer game.
Yeah.
And they look at me funny, like, you're out here camping, why are you playing a computer game? So I think one of the stories we want to tell you in the future is, we don't camp all summer. We don't even consider our camper a camper.
No.
It's our cabin.
We live out here
out here in the summer. This is our home. So we do a lot of non-camping things, but sometimes we have to do them in a slightly different way.
Right.
So that's some stories to look forward to. What other stories do we have to look forward to?
I don't know.
We have firewood now.
Yeah, that we have.
We have firewood.
Yep.
And I'm not talking us on our site. I mean, there's a vendor now that's selling firewood. So that's another reason to come to Black Lake.
Yep.
We've got stories. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to notice also, just a heads up, that we're going to be remastering some of our old Destination Great Lakes videos for winter content. And it's not that we're going to be just taking the video and cutting it up. We're going to be adding commentary. You might see some videos where we're watching one of our old videos with us in the corner on a webcam, and we pause the video and talk and add more details. Think of it as a director's cut of our old videos.
Exactly. You may see mixing and matching of two different videos with similar content and viewpoints. You may see some of that. So
there's a lot of stories to tell, and we're really excited about the concept of Tales of a
Campground Host.
And as we said earlier, Labor Day weekend went unbelievably well.
Yes.
So until our next tale, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Tell us some stories in the comments below. because I'm sure you guys, whether or not you're a campground host,
Host or not, you've got a
you've got
an outdoor
camp
story
stories
to share.
You've got camp and outdoor stories to share. Exactly. Share the channel, please. Help us to grow the channel by sharing it with other people you know who are outdoor enthusiasts or who would enjoy our stories. And you guys have a great day.
Yes.
Take care now.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.